It didn't start with a red carpet, it didn't start with an announcement, it started the way modern celebrity rumors always do, quietly through photos no one was supposed to notice. One moment, Kaia Gerber and Lewis Pullman were two separate names in Hollywood. The next, they were being searched together, and once that happens, there's no going back. The rumors began when Kaia Gerber, model and actress, and Lewis Pullman, rising Hollywood actor, were spotted spending time together away from professional settings. No premieres, no press tours, just casual appearances, the kind that don't scream publicity but also don't happen by accident. That's when speculation ignited, because timing matters. Kaia Gerber has a history of very public relationships, most notably with Austin Butler, relationships that unfolded visibly and then ended just as visibly. Since then, her public presence shifted. Fewer interviews about her personal life, less romantic transparency, more distance. Lewis Pullman, on the other hand, has always stayed under the radar. Despite his growing career and famous last name, he's known for avoiding attention outside his work. No public dating history, no social media hints, no tabloid footprint, which made this pairing unexpected. What fueled the rumor cycle wasn't just that they were seen together, it was how they were seen. No group settings, no industry events, no obvious professional overlap. Instead, it looked personal, intentional, repeated. Fans began connecting dots fast. Sightings turned into speculation. Speculation turned into narratives. Social media did what it always does. It filled in the blanks. And that's where things get interesting. Because neither Kaia nor Lewis rushed to shut the rumors down. No just friends' statements, no denials, no clarifications. In Hollywood, silence is rarely neutral, especially when both parties are experienced enough to know how rumors spread. The absence of confirmation created space, and space invites imagination. Some fans framed it as a low-key romance. Others saw it as casual. A few questioned whether it was even intentional visibility or just coincidence blown out of proportion. But here's the reality. Repeated sightings don't happen randomly, not at this level of fame. At the same time, there has been no official acknowledgement, no interviews referencing each other, no social media interactions, no joint appearances designed for cameras, which puts this story in a very specific category. Not confirmed, not denied, not accidental, just unresolved, and unresolved stories perform best. Because when celebrities stay quiet, the public tries to read between the lines, body language, timing, career moves, even who they stop being seen with. And once people start doing that, the rumor becomes bigger than the truth. But the real question isn't are they dating? The real question is why has this rumor stuck when so many others fade? That answer lies in patterns, timing, and what both Kaia Gerber and Lewis Pullman represent right now in Hollywood. And that's where this story actually begins. Most celebrity rumors burn fast and disappear. This one didn't. And the reason is simple, the pattern kept repeating. After the first sightings, attention should have faded. No confirmation usually kills momentum, but in this case, the opposite happened, because the appearances didn't stop. They stayed quiet, spaced out, and consistent enough to feel deliberate. Not staged, not promotional, but also not careless. That's a very specific zone celebrities operate in when they don't want attention, but also don't want to correct the narrative. Public reaction shifted quickly. This wasn't tabloid outrage or shock, it was curiosity. Fans weren't asking what went wrong, they were asking what's going on. That distinction matters. Kaia Gerber's dating history trained audiences to expect visibility. Her previous relationships unfolded publicly, with clear timelines and recognizable moments. This time there were none. No rollout, no explanation, just distance. That contrast triggered speculation. People assumed growth, privacy, intentional change. Lewis Pullman's presence intensified that assumption. He doesn't fit the typical public boyfriend mold, no influencer energy, no oversharing. His career is ascending, but his personal life remains deliberately quiet, which made fans project meaning onto the silence. Online discussions framed the dynamic as low-key, private, mature. Not because of confirmation, but because the behavior matched that narrative. And then there was the absence of contradiction. In Hollywood, rumors usually meet a response, even if it's indirect. A publicist leak, a casual denial, a strategic sighting with someone else. None of that happened here. Instead, both Kaia and Lewis continued appearing in public the same way. Minimal, controlled, and unreactive. That tells us something important. When celebrities want rumors to stop, they stop them. When they don't, they let them breathe. This doesn't confirm a relationship, but it does confirm comfort with the assumption. And comfort is rarely accidental. Media coverage reflected that shift. Headlines softened, language became cautious. Rumored, spotted together, sparking speculation. No accusations, no scandal framing, because there was nothing scandalous to frame, just two people moving quietly, and that's why this rumor survived. It wasn't fed by drama, it was fed by restraint. But restraint also creates expectations. Fans began watching more closely. Every appearance, every absence, every unrelated interview suddenly felt relevant, not because of evidence, but because silence invites interpretation. And this is where the story becomes less about romance and more about image control. Kaia Gerber is in a career phase where privacy equals credibility. Lewis Pullman is in a phase where mystery equals momentum. Together, rumored or not, they represent a shift away from performative celebrity culture, which makes the rumor feel believable. But believability isn't truth. And that's the danger of unresolved narratives, because the longer something goes unaddressed, the more solid it feels, even when nothing has been confirmed. And that leads to the final question. What happens next? Because there are only three ways this story can end: confirmation, denial, or permanent ambiguity. And each outcome sends a very different signal. That's what we'll break down next. At this point, the rumors aren't growing because of new information. They're growing because of what hasn't been said. When celebrities stay silent long enough, the silence itself becomes the headline. And that's exactly where Kaia Gerber and Lewis Pullman are now, in a space where ambiguity works better than confirmation ever could, because confirmation changes everything. If they confirm a relationship, the narrative shifts instantly. Every appearance becomes documented, every absence questioned. Interviews start circling back to the same topic. Privacy disappears, especially for Kaia, whose relationships have historically attracted intense scrutiny. If they deny it, something else happens. The mystery collapses, interest fades, and the story dies, but it leaves behind the impression that the public misread intimacy for romance. That correction can feel colder than silence, which leaves the third option, permanent ambiguity. This is the option more celebrities are choosing now, especially those navigating early career credibility. It allows them to exist in public without surrendering control. No lies, no confirmations, just continued movement. And this option aligns perfectly with where both of them are right now. Kaia Gerber is transitioning away from being defined by relationships and toward being taken seriously as an actress. Every low-key appearance reinforces that shift. No romance narrative to distract, no personal storyline overpowering her work. Lewis Pullman is building momentum in a career that rewards focus and restraint. Public curiosity helps, but publicity doesn't. Remaining undefined keeps the spotlight on his work rather than his personal life. Together, even as a rumor, they benefit from balance. That's why this situation feels intentional, not staged, not exploited, just allowed. The public sees enough to stay curious, but not enough to claim certainty. And in today's celebrity economy, that's powerful. Because attention doesn't require disclosure anymore. It requires presence without explanation. So what's the truth? Right now, the truth is simple. They've been seen together repeatedly without confirmation or denial. Everything else is interpretation. And that's the part most people struggle with, accepting that not every story resolves cleanly. This rumor survives because it resists closure, and unless one of them decides otherwise, that's exactly how it will remain. Not a headline romance, not a denial, just a quiet narrative running alongside two careers in motion. If you want clear, fact-based breakdowns of celebrity rumors, media strategy, and why silence often speaks louder than statements, subscribe and stay tuned. Because the most interesting stories are the ones no one officially explains.